All right, let's hit it.
Oh my God, what is this?
A new era dawns to fill the void. An unfamiliar path with a pulse of its own.
3, 2, 1.
Final Encounter Cast. Interesting conflicts, not conflicts of interest.
Typical corporate bullshit.
With your hosts, Nate, Robbie, Chris, Nika, and Callie. FinalEncounterCast.com.
Ready? Get set? Go!
Hey, what's up? Welcome to Final Encounter Cast. Thanks for tuning in. Twitch.tv. What was that? Why would you do that? That was
fair.
That was like.
It was excitement.
That was
That
not.
was a cat
that was.
dying.
Oh my God! Yeah.
I thought Fritz was in trouble.
I'm pretty sure I heard that outside. I'm pretty sure I heard that outside my window a couple of days ago. Like I heard a sound outside my window. This had to be like a day or two ago, and it was like, and I was like, oh shit, there's a cat in trouble, and then I went, no, that's Alley Cat's fucking. That's Alley Cat's fucking.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I don't need to see that.
Alley Cat's fucking explosions on the 14th floor. What is life?
You know, do you guys remember that song that I used to play
for Gordor?
For Gordor that used to make him crack
oh my
up?
God, I do remember that.
That was it basically what that track was someone recorded cats fucking and then auto-tuned it like
Good Lord.
like like Kanye West style, and it was fucking hysterical. And it would make him laugh so hard that he would cry, and so we would play it like down Skype at him.
And he had weird laughs to begin with.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Oh.
Anyway, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. Twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio starting at 1 p.m. For Final Encounter Cast. We appreciate you guys joining us. Final Encounter Cast on Skype, 810-207-1764. If you want to give us a call, we'd love to hear from you. We'd be interested on hearing any of your input on the stories that we have for you today, and we have a lot of them. There's a lot that's going on, and I know that everyone is going to be anxious for us to get to it, but we will get to it. The hashtag No More Nazis. The
Hashtag
Make America Nazi free again.
Hashtag Not My America.
Right?
That shouldn't be a thing we're saying right now.
It is, though.
I know. Don't
I
worry.
know. It's so sad.
Charlottesville with another incident last night.
Oh, I saw that.
I saw it too. Ugh.
You know, and it's infuriating. It's fucking infuriating. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. So line up your calls if you've got something to say. Final Encounter Cast on Skype, 810-207-1764. Kookie's standing by to take your calls. And we'd like to welcome everyone in who's joining us live. Real quick before we get into the news here, something that I wanted to mention. We've been hard at work at this other show that we've been doing, Checkpoint Radio. Maybe you've heard of it. I don't know. We don't talk about it very much.
Say if you're tuning in for the first time, maybe you haven't heard of it.
Sounds like a bunch of losers.
I know, right? And have you seen that fucking promo shot where like
Cat hair everywhere.
and all of them have different systems, and like one of them's an old dusty PS2.
Ooh, real gamers, guys.
I know, right? Like what the fuck is that bullshit? Anyway,
My favorite picture.
it is so funny. I love that picture. Anyway, so checkpointradio.com, you can go and check that out. We have been syndicating our episodes, the Checkpoint Radio podcast episodes, through our podcast feed at Final Encountercast. But we have an all-new way for you to listen to full episodes on demand. And that's over at mixcloud.com/checkpointradio. We got some feedback that the full episodes over at our website were a little bit hard to listen to, especially on mobile. And so we decided to now post all of our shows over to Mixcloud as well. well, and they have a great mobile app that you can download and listen to full episodes of Checkpoint. So again, you can follow us over at mixcloud.com/Checkpoint Radio. One other thing that I wanted to mention is that we've talked about this a few times, but we've actually made some pretty decent headway on this. We have been working on a website for the LBR network, and it's getting pretty close to launching. We've actually, we've been moving a lot of our archive over to the new server, and Scarro's actually been helping with that. So shout out to Scarro, thank you for that.
Got it done a lot quicker than I expected him to get it done.
And one of our listeners, Zemlis, has been helping us out with the website design. And this is it. I'm actually, you know what? I'm gonna show it off on the stream here. So if I seem distracted for a hot second, it's only because I'm making things work and putting things on the screen and trying to maintain a conversation at the same time.
If only you had co-hosts that could help you bear this burden,
right?
Instead of
Like
just watching you in silence.
if only there were 4 other people here that could help out with such a problem.
We're also blown away and in awe of this website. How are we supposed to talk?
I actually feel bad for being mean to Zemlis yesterday on stream.
Oh man, we can send your votes in for the Final Fantasy Feast League.
You know what? There is content in here that is a little old.
We should start that back up. You gonna do that? Meeting the hosts at PAX East. Nice.
Again, it's
a proof of concept
from 2016. Yeah, no, but
did we go to PAX East?
No, I don't know that we did. Anyway, but this is just kind of the basic guts of the design. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Nice covering everything on the screen. But here's the kind of basics of the design. It will eventually house content for Limit Break Radio, Final Encounter Cast, and Checkpoint Radio. So if you're a fan of all 3 of our shows, this will be where you can get all of your content. And again, we're super excited. We're super excited to be launching this and to have a new hub for our content. But when this officially launches, I think that at that point we are going to stop syndicating episodes of Checkpoint Radio onto our other feeds. We'll also be going through a slight name change that we're not totally going to reveal just yet. That's why a lot of this is sort of like, dummy images and stuff like that. So stay tuned for more. The site will go up eventually. If you want to check it out, it's lbrnetwork.com/lbr is where that's hanging out. So that's pretty much just kind of a preview of the new website.
Good job, Zem.
I think it's a damn cool design. And it's going to be awesome to have a place to kind of house absolutely everything that we do. So for those that are super fans that, listen to this show and Checkpoint and Limit Break Radio that would love to have, just one centralized place to go, it's going to be here. So I'm super excited about that. Nika, why don't you tell everyone about what's going on for Extra Life?
Yes, Extra Life is on November 4th. This has been multiple years in a row now that we have been doing this as Team Limit Break Radio. I am once again leading that team. I don't believe anybody else has joined it because I get text messages and I have gotten 0. So y'all are slacking. Yeah. This is a charity for children's cancer research for Children's Miracle Network. It is a fantastic cause. I think last year there was like 10 or 15 of us on Team LBR and we made over $3,000 as a team. It was pretty awesome, and I would love to be able to do that again. So if you could go, extra-life.org/team/limitbreakradio, sign up, start raising money. You get pledges just like you do when you run a marathon for cancer, whatever people do for breast cancer, those kinds of walks. But it's a gaming marathon. You don't have to leave your chair. Your butt can stay right there. It's pretty awesome. So get on that. Let's do it.
Cool. There you go. Extra-life.org/limitbreakradio. Join Team Limit Break Radio. Help us raise money for kids with cancer. And we've participated as a team, as as a company, as a show,
an entity.
For since
I think this is technically our 5th year because we did it way back in 2000.
The first year that it was ever held, I think, which was what, 07? Was it 07 or 08?
Back when it was just for the Texas Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
09 was the year that we did it at that mall.
Okay.
And we did it 1 year prior to that on campus too.
Yep, you guys had done it one because that was my first year attending was the 09 year.
Yes. So
08, I guess.
Yeah, and
this is our 6th year as a team entity, but.
The last couple of years have been spearheaded by Nika, and she's done a really wonderful job, hosting for Team Limit Break Radio. Are you planning on doing a stream for it?
Yep, I've been doing it every year, a whole 24 hours right here. I think it's 25 actually because it's the clock jump day. So
it is
25 hours right here. Twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. Come join me. Join Team LBR. We can keep each other awake. I'll have a special Discord channel for it. It'll be lots of fun.
That clock jump screws with us every year, I swear.
I know.
Whether it's Extra Life or when it was at YomaCon,
our panel was in the hour that never existed.
Yeah, our panel technically didn't exist.
Chris, are you going to be attending YomaCon this year?
No.
No? Then
No.
Are you going to be...
excuse me. I'm sorry, but...
then you're going to be helping out with Team Limit Break Radio, right?
I'm sorry, but when you become a father, like your priorities really have to shift. So it becomes a lot more than just yourself and your guilty pleasures. So I have to take care of my family.
So
is that your excuse, or were you planning to?
So you're helping out with Team Limit Break Radio, right?
No, I have to take care of my own children.
You've been on stream with your kid before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to do the whole 24 hours. Just come join for a little while.
Yeah, I think you should put in an appearance.
I mean, there's also an honor thing, too, where if you only do about 12 hours, you just do 12 the next weekend or something. You don't have to do it all in one go.
Yeah.
Sit down and play games, little Bert.
Yeah.
Just sign up on the team.
Bring donations.
I'll know.
We may do...
Because I get notifications. I'll know.
Yeah, we may do makeup streams. We may, I don't know. But here's the thing is that a few of us are going to be out at YomaCon.
Who's going to do a makeup stream besides Callie? And maybe
Technically,
Nika.
the official makeup day is the next
Stop
weekend,
it.
so you can still do that.
I see.
It was a pun, Nika.
Boo.
Yeah, it took me a second, but I'm trying to actually plug this event, so just quit being stupid and an asshole.
Yeah.
Do I get a point for making her cuss?
Yeah, okay, sure.
That's not the fucking time. You guys are stupid.
Another point. Hey.
2 points for Chris.
Oh, I get a real name.
No,
Too
you
late.
don't.
No
you
take
don't.
back.
you can't-
He was
you
referring to
already said
Skuro with that, Chris.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Since when has Skuro ever actually been Chris?
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's the thing. We're gonna tally Nika trigger points on the show on your nameplate. So now you're fat 2 now. So congratulations.
Too fat, too hungry.
Wow.
Okay.
I'd watch it.
It's just a whole bunch of people eating like a giant cornucopia of fruit on a bus.
What?
A cornucopia of fruit.
On a bus?
Yeah.
But the bus is only going like 15 miles an hour because there's so much weight on it.
And you don't want to disturb
wait a minute.
Are we mixing our speed references?
Yes, I'm so confused. How did speed references work their way into a Fast and Furious? What the fuck is happening? Were we talking about children with cancer? What happened here?
Yes, idiot!
Fat happened.
Holy shit.
Fat always happens.
That'll teach you for including me in the conversation.
God damn it. Anyway, join us for Extra Life. Nika's going to be streaming on the actual day. But join us for Team Limit Break Radio. Help us raise kids. Help us raise kids. Raise kids.
I mean, that's
help us raise
true.
kids for cancer. No, that's wrong. No. Help us raise money for kids with cancer. So, anyway, what's the date one more time?
November 4th.
Okay. November 4th. And then if you're going to be at Youmacon, if you happen to live in the Metro Detroit area, we're going to do some kind of LBR meet and greet. We know that we've got some fans coming in from out of town that we want to hang out with. So we're definitely going to be
is a strong word.
We're definitely going to be putting in an appearance. So
it's not going to be the after party.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be the after party. But since I have
what about a room party?
There may be a room party that we can go crash or something.
None of us have a room.
Yeah,
so.
that's really
okay.
yeah. So here's the thing. So if you want to, like, I have a feeling that all of us are probably going to be there, or at least a few of us are going to be there, like around the same times. So watch Twitter, twitter.com/Limit Break Radio or twitter.com/FEC podcast, and we'll kind of keep you ahead of where we're gonna. Yeah, where we're going to be. It's probably going to be at the bar.
It'll probably be Volt on Friday night or something like that.
Yeah. That's what I would guess. Either
not Saturday night because we might have shows the day after.
I don't know, man, because when's the rave, the dance party thing?
Oh, it's Saturday night, isn't it?
Yeah, and
that's the only thing worth going. That's the only thing worth going
stream.
to.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we're going to.
I have no guarantees that I'll be at the show the next day after Extra Life. There's no promises.
Yeah,
because I requested Saturday off.
We may be phoning it in for those shows. I don't know what's happening.
Literally, let's phone it in.
Well,
we
if Juxta's not going to do anything,
but if we're partying,
if we are right, I'm saying Juxta's not going to Youmacon. Juxta doesn't want to do Extra Life. Juxta could be in charge.
of Juxta, you're
like a video thingy or something.
No.
No, I'm lazy.
No, he's going to be in charge of planning the show.
Solo
show. I can't do it because I don't want to.
No. We'll show up, but we're going to be fucking hungover. He's just got
to plan a show and show up. That's retarded. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Me and Callie do it every weekend.
Yeah. So all right, do it every weekend.
Twice
a week.
Twice a week. You shut your mouth and do the fucking work.
Why?
Yeah.
Just do it.
I do so much work.
Can help.
I hit these buttons. See, like this.
None of this was funny at all.
I will help if you come and stream with me during Extra Life. I will totally
You know what? There you go.
Hey, that could be a portion of the Extra Live stream, planning out the show that week.
Sure, let's do it.
There you go.
We're two birds with one stone.
I just gave you guys an hour and a half's worth of content because it's really not that much work. It's more work to type it out than it is to.
That's why we.
What day is Extra Life? I'm sorry. I worked that day.
It's a Saturday.
I worked that
off.
day.
Jesus.
Apparently, I have to come in at 9 o'clock that day.
Then plan the show on your own time.
Yep. Too bad.
What if you wear a GoPro and you just stream from work?
Oh,
there
you
go.
It's like Paperboy, but Pizza Boy.
We've got the Kevo cam that was given to us by Sevo Kevo. You can take that with you.
I don't think my place of employment would go for that.
I'm picturing a top-down view of his car, and he's just like whipping pizzas out the window at houses that are painted white.
Was that a Paperboy reference?
Yeah, it was.
Except you have to hit the red houses. Chuck those out the window.
Bravo. I'm impressed.
I do my part.
All right. Yeah. Join us for Extra Life. Let us know if you're coming to Youmacon. We'll include you on the plans. All right. Let's, check out what's going on. What?
We'll include you on the plans?
On the plans, on what we're doing, on the meet and greet. It's
where we're going to get sloshed at.
Yeah, dude, we're not, it's not a formal thing. It's not like a big, it's just like, let us know if you're going to
planning a giant party?
No.
And you're going to have a room?
No.
And a rave?
No.
Wow, that's really nice of you guys to plan all that.
We're doing an entire con. It's called Youmacon. Yeah.
Wow.
We did that.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
We're putting on Youmacon this year.
That's right.
They reached out. They're like, you know what? Listen, we can't plan this shit anymore. We've seen you guys. You're great at it.
Wait, didn't it get canceled last year?
Youmacon?
And then they did like a free one? What was that one?
Oh, dear God, that wasn't Youmacon.
That was not Youmacon.
That was
Novi Comic-Con, right?
Motors.
No, it's Novi Comic-Con, wasn't it?
No. It was either Motor City or Midwest Media
Expo.
Midwest Media Expo.
It was Midwest Media Expo.
Yeah, that was it.
Same people, same company.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, let's check out what's going on in the news.
Yes.
Wrong fucking one.
I'm here to do the news tonight.
And that's the way the news goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this program to bring you important news.
Here's a story that's out of this world.
I need better software than just fucking VLC Media Player to run our goddamn production.
You know, you think about all the things that are run on just the most ancient software. Do you know, like, most like places that have to order, like most retail stores operate on like technology out of the 70s?
Do you know how many small market radio stations are run off of a fucking Winamp plugin?
Oh, more than I'm going to be happy about, isn't it?
Yeah. That's not even a fucking joke. That I've interviewed at stations like that.
Where they're like, do you know how to use Winamp? And you're like,
do I?
Yes, I mean,
it really whips the llamas.
I even have custom skins on it.
Jeez. All right, anyway, so GOG has announced they've struck a deal with Disney to restore the multiplayer servers of Star Wars Battlefront 2. No, not the game currently in open beta, the 12-year-old version of the game whose online support ended in 2014. In addition, this will include the Steam version of the game. So if you want to go back and play Star Wars Battlefront 2, guys, you can.
Why?
Dude. What?
Battlefront 2
is
great.
It's confusing that it has, like, the same name.
I think it's just weird that they're bringing it back now.
Yes.
When Battlefront 2 is about to launch.
I was very confused about the marketing.
The timing is odd.
It is super odd. I'm actually surprised that they didn't cram this in as like a DLC on Battlefront.
Or some bonus thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might make a little bit more sense.
Buy Battlefront 2, get the remastered Star Wars Battlefront 2.
It seems weird that GOG... How does the Steam thing... Because Steam and GOG are competitors, aren't they? How does that make sense?
Yeah.
They are, but
this
they've
includes the Steam version.
I think it was probably one of the things that Disney probably had. Is like, you guys want to bring that service back? It has to be universal. That was probably one of Disney's demands for it.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know, man. It seems...
It's weird.
GOG is weird... I do not understand, like, it's kind of a, like, it exists in, like, a
because the
gray
Witcher
area.
forced me to use it.
Yeah.
Like, when I installed The Witcher, it, like, forced me to run it through GOG.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's scummy. That's really shady.
I don't know why, but... All the DLC and stuff is all managed through GOG.
Like like Steam is so ubiquitous that I'm kind of used to it by now. You know, like if a game,
of course it's on Steam.
Oh, right. Like if a game installs on a Steam client, like that makes sense. But it's like I'm kind of getting annoyed with all of these different fucking apps, like between the the Origin app and the Blizzard app, and it's
Origin is trash.
All of it is getting fucking annoying. It was I liked it way better when like the bulk of everything was under the Steam.
Yeah, but of course that was popular and successful, so you know it's coming.
Of course.
After 27 years, PlayStation boss Andrew House is leaving Sony. He's been helming the PlayStation arm of the company since 2011, and in his time helped launch the PS4, which is set to reach 78 million lifetime units moved, outselling the Xbox One by a 3-to-1 ratio in that time.
Very successful dude.
Yeah, bummer to see him moving on. Like, I mean, kind of. Sony does a lot of things that piss me off, but I can't deny their success.
Yeah, like that's the thing is that like all of Sony's decisions like make a certain amount of sense when you're like, oh yeah, they're in first, of course.
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
doing something right.
Exactly. Like you look at it like, well, that's pretty smart business. I get it.
Right.
I'm not necessarily happy about it, but I get it.
See, for me, when it's one of these like CEO businessman types that are way up top there, I have a hard time really caring because I doubt that a bunch of their success can be attributed to literally just this one person.
Sure,
right?
it's the team under him.
Right. Like if I hear that a director for one of my favorite games is leaving or something like that, like they really had like a big overarching hand in how certain things that mean a lot to me were developed and came into creation. So that's one thing. But when they're like, oh, President so and so or CEO guys, moving on, it's like, so
right. When Ken Levine packed his bags, it meant a lot more than when Andrew House leaves.
Yeah.
In a bizarre story out of Japan, former Square Enix employee Koji Takada has been arrested for allegedly stocking and reselling systems. While making contracts with clients, he would purchase 3DS and other systems, claiming them necessary for the project, and then resell them. He was found in breach of trust laws and has been placed under arrest.
You're fired.
Wow.
I need to find one of these.
This is fascinating.
I need to find it. That's like owning a little piece of gaming history. Do you know how valuable those just became? Not just because they're like overloaded with like free developer games ostensibly, but like the fact that he was arrested over it. Like
that's insane.
They're evidence now.
Dude. I need to own one of these.
I agree, and I see. I'm sure some of these probably do have like stuff on them that's really important, and some of them might have just been him like saying, "Oh yeah, no, I need this for development purposes," and then reselling it to get more money.
Dude. Isn't that fucking crazy though?
I've
never heard of anything like this.
That's bonkers.
At least I've never heard of anyone getting caught for anything like this.
So in 6 months' time, there will be someone on a police force that's been arrested for reselling the evidence.
Well, yeah, like what's like at the most like I think they say he made like $12,500 doing this, which is. Dude, that's a lot of systems.
There's got to be a lot of these floating out there. A couple hundred at least.
Yeah. I've never heard a story like this before.
And the fact that you can't, like he's in jail, you're never going to be able to get him again. Like that makes him fucking limited. I need to, dude,
How do you know that you got one from Takashi or whatever?
I don't know. That
that just kind of ruins the value though.
No, but that we need to figure it out though.
How do you prove it?
Yeah, like there's got to be a way.
I have one.
I would assume No,
I'll sell to you for $5,000.
I would assume that first of all, it's probably going to be Japanese language.
It'll have
there's going to be developer version of the.
Wouldn't he delete all that stuff off of it?
No.
Because
why would you?
That gives it more value than just, hey, I have a spare 3DS I'm going to sell you.
You don't program the language on the fucking 3DS. What do you think? Someone's like typing in the fucking that's how you make a game for the 3DS? No, you make it on the fucking computer and then you port it over. That's what a developer version of the console does. It allows you to do things like hook up a USB and port software onto the fucking thing. So it's going to be a developer version of the console.
Yep.
And then, I would imagine that there's got to be specific titles. Because people, I assume, bought them from him knowing that they were getting a cracked version.
Right, because that's what gives it its value. Otherwise, imagine you were going to take your 3DS and sell it to someone. They're not going to pay you full price for it because it's used, right?
And
so maybe you're getting $150, $100 per 3DS, but if it's like a developer version, that has premium value now.
By the way, I do not want this so that I can get a whole bunch of bullshit
hentai games.
No, get a whole bunch of pirated games. I want this as a piece of gaming history.
Yeah, it's going on the wall.
Oh yeah, you build a fucking case for that. That's a 1 in a million fucking item. That's crazy. I don't know. I for some reason, shit like that just I become really, really fascinated.
Yeah, Nate, I got to tell you, I didn't want one, but you sold me. Now I do.
Well, it's no chalice of eternal truth.
No, it's not the chalice of eternal truth.
You got a point.
One place everyone was able to get an SNES Classic if they wanted was eBay, which says they sold one of the consoles every 25 seconds on launch day.
Wow.
The average list price for the system was at around $163, nearly double sticker.
Which actually isn't all that bad, considering the Nintendo Classic went for 400 to 500% more.
God. That's a little lower than I think I would have expected it to be.
That's because they made 8 more this time. There was a little less demand.
Are you kidding? No, apparently Nintendo's doing really good in terms of producing as many SNES Classics as they needed.
So. Yeah, I actually Cookie got one.
We had a guy come in.
She was waiting in line though.
We had a guy come into my work who he works for Best Buy, and he's like, "No, we have as many as you could ever want."
Get fuck scalpers.
Whatever.
Yeah. They are making 2 million Switches a day or a month now, I guess.
Dude, there are some people who are dumb enough to fucking buy anything,
like a cracked console.
Or fascism, yeah, absolutely.
Or fascism.
Yeah. There are people who
took
buy
it to a new place, but
buy into that shit these days.
So Fat, do you plan on picking up one of these eventually?
Yeah, you get one.
Have you thought about going into Best Buy and checking it out?
Or once I actually have $85 in my pocket, yes.
Hang on. You have a working Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
And you're still going to go buy a SNES Classic.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I really like the UI.
What happened to the
UI? It looks cool.
The UI of when you're selecting the fucking games, once you load the game up, it's the fucking game.
There's a difference between just a list of names and being able to slide and scroll through them on and seeing that big box art.
Whoa. What happened to when you become a father, suddenly it's not about you and your own frivolous pursuits?
Yeah, duh. What do you think of buying it for myself? No, I'm buying it for baby Roberta, so when she grows up, she can have true gaming culture in her
she's not
life.
Gonna be able to read the
Not
list.
the fucking
She'll be able to see the
Xbox
pictures.
One X.
Yes. So when she grows up in the fucking bombed out nuclear wasteland that is going to be our fucking world in 10 years, that she can have an SNES Classic that she can plug into nothing.
You want Super Mario All-Stars, not Action 52.
But she can play it earlier because she can see the pictures when she don't have to read just a list of names because she can't read when she's only a baby.
This is the dumbest goddamn argument. I can't believe that you would waste $80 on this shit.
85.
Oh my god.
You're not helping.
I'm not trying to help.
Oh, fair.
Alrighty, Dead or Alive Extreme fans, all of you, I guess. If you're looking at getting the new game, bear in mind the PC specs are actually pretty steep, recommending a GTX 1050. If you're unable to meet those specs, you'll just have to deal with downgraded boob physics. Shame.
I don't even have a card that high.
Scandalous.
A GTX 1050 for DOA X? What the fuck?
Them boobs be bouncing.
Yeah, well, apparently they added ass physics now, and now it's really... Now it's really straining the graphics card.
Wow.
There's 50 different jiggle points per boob, so it's
per cheek for the butt as well.
It's starting to get to the point of absurdity.
Yeah.
Like nothing jiggles that much. There's nothing on Earth that has ever jiggled like that.
Got Jello in their pants.
This is the dumbest fucking shit.
I can't imagine having a GTX 1050 for DOAX.
Can you imagine the one sad bastard that's buying a GTX
so that he has full boob physics.
so that they can so that he can fucking beat off while playing Dead or Alive. God, what is wrong with
not that he can just beat off, because if he has the lower graphics card and the physics aren't good, he won't be able to get off to it. That's the concern.
They need the high res version. Yeah. As high as it can go.
Oh my god.
Or VR.
I don't want to live on this planet.
Yeah, get VR. There you go.
I don't want to be here anymore. It stopped becoming fun.
I know. I remember when we were first doing this show. Actually, one of our first.
I'm not talking about this show. I'm talking about life, Joe.
Oh.
I'm talking about living.
Well, now it's.
I remember when this was fucking fun.
No, I'm just saying though. On one of our first shows.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Living was fun when we were like, what, 5? I mean,
we had.
Wow, you just made it even sadder. Thanks, Nika. How did that? How did that happen?
I'm sorry.
Now, with every bated breath, he just hopes that death takes him into its slow, cold embrace.
Wow.
We need to stop.
Okay.
Let's move on.
All right.
No, yes, that's right, Nika. We do hope it just stops.
We all hope it just ends.
Actually, that I mean, ideally, that's kind of.
But you do have those.
You never see it coming, and it's just everything goes black.
You have those nights where you just kind of go to bed, saying like, you know what? If I don't wake up tomorrow, it's fine.
I just want to point out that if you guys had
especially
children, then your life would actually have meaning once again.
Are you daddy jacking us?
He is.
Is that what that is?
That's exactly what happened.
Whoa, he really just did.
First of all, when you have kids, I don't plan on it.
Have a little perspective, okay?
I do have perspective. I don't want my children dying in nuclear apocalypse.
Maybe you should have had perspective.
That's why I'm not having kids.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not why. There's way more selfish reasons why I'm not having kids, but that's one of them.
Yeah, there's like a 50-50 chance of that.
What are the chances that nuclear fallout's going to hit Flint, Michigan? We're already halfway there.
It doesn't matter.
The entire country.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it would poison every water source that's not the Flint River.
We don't have water in the first place. So
that's what I'm saying, and now no one has water.
And you know what? Good, because fuck Nestle.
Wow.
Okay.
What?
That was a roundabout way to get to fuck Nestle.
I mean,
Michigan sells all of its water for a year.
I know. That's
for
just
$400 to Nestle.
I'm just surprised you knew that.
I know.
How do you not know that?
Look, when you have a kid, okay, you suddenly become very aware of what's going on around you, and you stay on current events.
On your environments.
You probably should have showed up to the benefit show that I did for the Michigan Citizens for Water Conservation back in 2005 when my band was still together and playing in Mount Pleasant. It was the only show we played in Mount Pleasant.
It was for the what group?
Flint had water back then, so it didn't matter.
Michigan Citizens for Water Conservation. It was basically an anti-Nestle group.
Oh,
yeah.
What was your band name?
Uprising.
Oh, I knew that.
That's not bad. I like that.
I mean,
that was a year before I was there, so
I really like that Overwatch event.
Anyway. Okay, so we're done talking about suicide. Great. Destiny players may recall how a boss in the first game could be easily defeated by yanking out your LAN cable mid-fight.
What?
And it turns out...
Wow, this sounds really familiar, Nika.
And it turns out a boss in Destiny 2 has a similar weakness. Callus, the final boss of the Leviathan raid, can be made much simpler by having a player log out using the right timing. Doing so will cause enemies to stop spawning into the fight, making things much easier.
Nika, this sounds oddly familiar.
Oh, as if none of you guys did that one. What was it? There was the one in COP where you just talk to the entrance thing and the mobs would just hit you and not hurt you. Everybody did that strategy too.
What fight is that?
Wait, what?
I don't know that.
Gosh, I can't remember.
I'm sorry. What weird exploit are you talking about that no one else did?
No, everybody did it. It was one of the COP fights, I believe, where you go into an instance and there's these like things you're supposed to kite, but instead people would just talk to the entrance and they would just hit you and wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
No. I don't remember that.
If I can figure out what one it was.
Nope. Are you talking about the Mammoth fight?
Maybe. It might
Yeah,
have been.
I
remember doing the Mammoth fight fairly.
Yeah,
Yep.
I remember not using an
Nobody did
exploit.
that
I remember not cheating.
Yeah, Nika,
I remember not cheating
because
for that
we're
fight.
not cheater pumpkin eaters.
That's right.
Hey, like it was my idea to do all those things.
Well,
We
I'm
are
just saying.
winner, chicken
And
dinner.
I'm just- I have to- I just-
was built.
I have to
be real. I had no say in anything my link show did.
I just have to wonder. I just have to wonder, Nika, if
Pathetic to fight your own battles.
I just have to wonder whether or not this Destiny 2 raid group had members of your old Final Fantasy 11 link shell.
It's possible.
How crazy would that be if it's the same damn group?
They try it on every single fight. Like that's their only fucking strategy that they ever.
Ponies.
That's right. That's right. And it's just like one time out of like 300, it works.
I love this.
I hope it is them.
So multiple organizations seem to be racing to become the quote-unquote NCAA for collegiate esports. With the NCAA still undecided on what they want to do with esports, organizations like the NACE and the Electronic Gaming Federation are collecting up esports clubs and varsity programs around the country. The EGF is even attempting to form a March Madness-style national tournament in the future.
I'm telling you, man.
Any organization called the Federation is really cool.
It's fucking happening. This is the carving up of esports. We've been talking about it for a while.
Yeah.
And this is just, I mean, I'm not surprised by this at all. I think that this was just the way that it was always going to go.
And I think this is really going to come back to bite the NCAA. Like, they did have a great opportunity to swoop in right at the beginning and make this happen, and it's going to get harder the longer they wait.
Hold on, though. You don't think think they could still do it? Because the way that I see it is if they do decide, they're going to fuck everyone. Because as you've pointed out in previous conversations we've had, that all they have to do is get the Big Ten on their side, and that's it.
That's
it's
true.
Over. It's over.
I just think their window is closing.
Probably.
It is. It absolutely is. And I mean, we have somewhat of a relationship with U of M esports and stuff like that. I mean, there are a lot of opportunities there because we know how organizations like that, how hungry they are. You know what I mean? And how willing they are to form up and kind of group up. And yeah, if the NCAA doesn't act soon, they're going to miss their window of opportunity.
I hope they do.
And I think that might be for the better.
Absolutely.
I hope that window closes even faster because, listen, I understand that there's probably an argument to be had there of the devil that you know is better than the devil that you don't. Yeah. But at the same time, the NCAA is the fucking devil.
They're evil. They're evil.
They really are. And all of the reasons to participate, not all of them, but a lot of the big reasons to participate in esports as someone who is also going to college starts to go out the window. Mm-hmm. There are sponsorship opportunities. If the NCAA gets involved, that goes, I'm not saying it goes out the window, but it's definitely up for grabs.
As long as they the NCAA sticks to their stance of, amateurism in collegiate esports, you can't make any money off of it. they're going to have a hard time making that shift into esports. But the longer they wait to kind of bend and make that concession, the harder it's going to be. The EGF is now talking about trying to do a March Madness style tournament where they're looking for sponsors. They're looking for people who want to do this on a national stage. If you can get 60 colleges across the country eagerly participating in this, it's going to be a major collegiate event, and that is going to be a hard thing to break, or a hard thing for the NCAA to get in on.
It's clear it's going to happen. Like, it's definitely going to happen. A league can't not be formed at this point. The growth is
unstoppable.
The growth is too huge, and it's kind of what has to happen here.
It's going to be chaos, though, for a few years here, because you already see
there's going to be a scramble.
The NACAE is going for it. The EGF is going for it. There's other groups that are in play trying to get as many colleges and clubs on their side as they can. And the problem with that is it only kind of works if everyone is able to play with each other. So you're going to see a big bunch of there'll be a bunch of groups that only have like 5 or 6 people. They'll have to end up joining up with someone else, and then you'll probably be left with 2 major ones. It's like the American League and the National League in baseball, or the AFC and the NFC in football. Eventually, those two just kind of had to make one league.
Well, and that's still, I think, even if all of those that you mentioned do end up, kind of looking at each other and be like, all right, you know what? We need to just join forces, create, one big entity. Still better than the NCAA getting involved.
I mean, there's positives to be had for the NCAA. There's a high level of credibility that comes with the NCAA.
But that's
whether they're evil or not.
That's something that these other organizations can build. Like, I think that all of the benefits of the NCAA are basically just shortcuts that all of these other organizations are going to end up building themselves. And I think that in the end, it's going to be a lot better, because if the NCAA were to grab a hold of esports and basically say, look, no amateurism now, in some cases, depending on the level that you play on, you might actually look at college and be like, you know what? No, it makes more sense for me to spend my younger, years, because we know that once you start getting into you're in your early 30s, you're in those senior brackets now. You're starting to lose your competitive edge. Why would you want to spend 4 or 5 of your best competitive years playing for no money in college?
That's a great point.
No, I agree. If the NCAA does get involved, they will have to concede on amateurism. And you're right, it's because of the age bracket that you can play these games competitively. Your college years are your prime. It's not like the NFL. The NFL, your prime is 27 to 30 probably.
Right.
Well after you're out of college. In fact, most kids have to go 3 or 4 years before they're out of college, before they're any good in the NFL.
Your talent pool, I mean, we've seen that the talent pool skews so young that you're basically pulling kids straight out of high school.
Absolutely.
I mean, there might almost not even be a reason for a collegiate scene, because most of those kids, again, they're it's questionable whether they're going to even bother going to college.
That said,
go straight to a pro team. You don't have to, you know what I mean? It's not like because recruitment for professional sports out of high schools is a dicey proposition.
Yeah.
There are rules about that in a lot of specific leagues. Doesn't the NFL? The NFL can't recruit out of high school, can they?
No, you have to play 3 years in college.
Okay, right. So they've got specific rules about that. But as you've said, that does not apply in esports.
No.
Your prime is basically 18 to 25.
Right. You can because no 18-year-old kid is physically ready for the NFL. You just can't be. You're not big enough yet.
Which means that college leagues have either got to see themselves as secondary leagues to the pros, right? Like, you've kind of got it's sort of the way that professional football and college football are consumed. Not the way that the leagues are structured, but the way that they're consumed, right?
Right.
Because in that case, college football feeds the NFL, but you can't have that here. You've got to have both of them sort of running in tandem as like, well, I like the pros, but I also like the college league, because it's got to be for different fucking reasons.
This is where, if the NCAA gets involved, if let's say they go ridiculous and they say, nope, we're sticking to our amateurism rules, there is an element of that where it's like, these are kids now who are going to college and getting a scholarship.
Exactly.
But they're going to go to college, not to try to make it as a pro. And in so many ways, what's wrong with the NCAA is, in let's say football, none of those kids are there to get an education. They are taking the bare minimum classes with 12 tutors who are basically doing the work for them. And it's literally just, hey, I need to survive 3 years and go to the pros. And that's all it is.
Guess what? You're not going to be given that same treatment as an esports pro. And again, there just seems to be little to no incentive unless you can't make it as a pro at 18, 19. You need to brush up.
Right.
You can. College is an option. The college leagues are an option.
Yep.
But they have to understand where they themselves end up lying. In comparison to the pros, you know what I mean? Like it can't be like the same way that football works. It's got to be completely different. And you can't strip them at that point. If you strip somebody of the financial incentive, their ability to earn, then you know what? You're not going to attract any.
No, you're only going to attract people who want to go to get a college education.
Right. That's going to be a bare bottom league.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be like people who go for track and field, effectively.
Yeah, exactly.
Fortnite Battle Royale is quickly running down PUBG in total players as they've surpassed 7 million people already. The cartoon-stylized survival shooter bears many similarities to PUBG, having recently added duos mode and drop crates. It also functions on a free-to-play model, but not requiring the original Fortnite to play.
Can I tell you, I fucking hate this game.
Yeah, I know it's not good.
It is aesthetically
it looks really cool.
It looks like hot ass.
Yeah,
I do not.
Isn't hot ass a good thing?
No, I'm talking. I'm talking
that
like Chris's fat ass.
Yeah, he's talking
at the end of a recording session.
Yes,
he's talking swampy mud butt.
That's right.
Yeah,
I fucking hate
every time.
I hate everything about this game.
It's super cartoony, and that's coming from someone who loves Overwatch. But it's cartoony in a way that looks unfinished, right? And oh gosh, because I was watching Anthony Kong Fan, I think it is, streaming it, right? And it is essentially it's PUBG, except when someone starts shooting at you, you can like build walls and cover and ramp, so now you can get a height bonus on them.
Yeah, it's Minecraft too.
No, to me it reminds me of when I was playing League of Legends a ton, like when I was huge into playing, and my brother was like, "Hey, you should try Smite." And that's what it feels like. I got into Smite. I'm like, it's really hyper cartoony, and it just feels cheaper. But that's what it feels.
Right. And even though the idea of being able to make your own cover and whatnot seems like it might be a new, interesting mechanic, and I think it changes the meta enough for it to be a quote unquote different game. When you're actually watching it in practice, it just
it looks so janky.
It looks
like you just
it looks
pick where it goes, and then it's instantly built.
Yeah, like suddenly, there's a wall in front of me.
Yeah,
haha.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's
like
not.
You can walk up it as it's being built. Like that just doesn't make sense.
Right. It's not like you had to take the time to sit there constructing it and like, oh, so look, someone's wandered into my fortress that I've built. It's literally like, oh, a firefight broke out. Let me throw down some defenses.
Yeah. And the defenses are just walls.
Yeah,
but it's free though.
It is free,
but it's free,
and so that would get you 7 million people real quick. I guess
the difficulty curve compared to PUBG is also way lower.
I can't even see it remotely operating the same way mechanically.
I do like how in Fortnite,
it's so cartoony.
You can destroy walls in it. So if someone's like entrenched in a house, you could just tear apart the wall to the house and get in that way.
Destructible environments are difficult to program, though. I mean,
very.
Yeah.
I mean, I was throwing.
PUBG is a very, very well programmed game, so it's.
I mean, they have destructible doors, and even that was kind of like.
Listen.
Did you just say welly program?
Yes, he did.
He did. And I'm not even going to address that. But it's not like I don't have complaints about PUBG. I mean, PUBG definitely has flaws, and it's frustrating, and it could be improved upon, no doubt. But the thing is that this is just so. Like, I'm just so turned off by it visually, and the fact that it just apes the shit out of PUBG just really bothers me. It's so derivative.
It really does kind of strike me when I see it as like, this is what the mobile version of PUBG looks like.
Derivative, I think, is the best word you can do, because it's basically like, all right, we want to make PUBG, but it has to be different.
Right.
Base building.
Yeah.
But you're not even really building bases. Like, if the idea really actually was that you have to fortify your base, then take other people's, that's fine. But that can't exist in the PUBG shrinking zone, game mode.
Right.
So you're literally just going around throwing up. You said that it's like Minecraft, and it's like not the good Minecrafts where people actually make like Game of Thrones worlds and stuff like that, but the shitty Minecraft where, remember when we were playing Ark, and as we're walking around, there's just half-built houses and like boxes everywhere. That's essentially what it is. Just half-built shit.
I would much rather have a semi-empty but generated world full of stuff than have it be like, oh, you got building.
Yeah, and by the way, when you say, oh, but everything's destructible, destructible in the way that I just took out that wall, and instead of crumbling into debris or looking like it smashed down, the wall just vanishes.
Right, like, and that's really the thing, is that it's only because of the base building and the wall building
Quote,
and
unquote.
stuff, right? Like that those walls are destroyable, right? Like the map is made as the map, and there are elements that are what is it? Procedurally generated, right? Like the elements are ammo, weapons, basically all the things that you find inside of the house.
Right.
But without making each wall by fucking like either procedurally generated, like it seems like it would be impossible with that system to be able to program that, especially with the small staff that they have.
Yeah, I don't think that I can't do Fortnite. I want to.
I
but
can't even watch it.
Yeah, I'm not.
Well, speaking of PUBG, Bluehole has issued an apology over some server stability and downtime issues they've been having. According to them, the problem has just been how many people are playing. They originally developed the game to be able to handle 1 million concurrent players, a goal they thought was pretty far-fetched. Of course, the game then became the most popular game in Steam history, and in June they began the process of upgrading the architecture. Even with that process ongoing, they haven't been able to match the game's growth during peak times, leading to some server issues.
So isn't there concurrent record total? It wasn't like the 13 millions, wasn't it?
Concurrent it's like 1.65 million.
Oh, okay. Well, still, dang, that's pretty good.
I got it. I actually ran into this the other day.
It does. If you're playing on peak hours on the weekend, you'll start having some problems.
It was 10 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
That's peak time.
No.
Somewhere in the world.
I mean, maybe.
Oh, well, I've not had. I played Friday morning and I was fine.
No, I mean it was like a weird off time. It was like before I went to work. It may have been around noon.
I'm sure this wasn't Comcast issues.
Yeah, I'm 100% positive because I switched off of that and went to go play
Fortnite.
No, I what did I do? I went. I think
Battlefront.
No,
Destiny?
it was before the
14?
beta
Oh, no.
was out. Yeah, no, it may have been. I logged on to 14.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Hearthstone.
Yeah, Hearthstone. That'd be the day. Anyway, yeah.
PUBG, the card game.
That game's growing really fast.
I played some Destiny. That's what I did.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
so
you know,
it wasn't Comcast.
There could be worse problems that a developer was facing. So
fair enough. The 2017 Nintendo World Championships are in the books, and no, Bailey didn't win.
Aww.
Congratulations go out to a player by the name of Ito, who defeated 2015 champion John Numbers in the finals to win the event. Events this year included Donkey Kong.
Is that his real name?
John Numbers?
John Numbers.
I don't think so, because everything I see has him referred to as John Numbers, like first, last name.
God damn it.
Why would you choose numbers?
I don't know.
Hey, I'm Chris Accountant.
because when it all comes down to it, it's
It's
numbers.
just-
I could be wrong. His name could be John Numbers. It's just the way all the websites have it typed out. It makes me think probably not.
I don't know. I don't know if your name is John Numbers. How do you not say both your first and last name every time you refer to that person? If I knew someone who's
Here
actually
we go, guys. John Goldberg, known as John Numbers,
Damn
is an
it.
American gamer, most known for winning the 2015 Nintendo World Championship.
You ruined it.
John Goldberg.
John, you broke my heart.
John Goldberg Numbers. It's his middle name now.
Or would it be John Numbers Goldberg?
No, he's getting his last name changed. Goldberg's his middle name.
John Numbers in quotation marks Goldberg.
John.
Anyway, so yeah, some of the games included this year were Donkey Kong, Smash Brothers, ARMS, and Super Mario Odyssey, among others. No major announcements came of the event, as Nintendo looked to make it focus on the competition itself. That was surprising. I was expecting some announcements out of.
So
I
he
bet
probably
that
won something awesome, right?
I bet that trophy felt really good hauling that home.
I would say, let me tell you something. I read 6 articles, right, and not a one of them listed his trophy or his prizes. They just said congratulations that he won.
He has a place
because guess
in
what? He
Nintendo.
didn't get garbage.
I wonder why.
He has a place in Nintendo history, guys.
Yeah, he's the third person to win the World Championships.
Who won last year?
John Numbers.
John Numbers won in 2015.
And the year before that?
Well,
God,
there's only been 3 Nintendo Championships.
Yeah, 1990, 2015, and 2017 are the 3 events.
Yep. So Ito, John Numbers, and I don't know who the first one was.
It was Andy Alphabet.
I hope so.
Cherry Circle.
What car was it that they won in 1990? Like a Plymouth
Geo
Metro.
The shittiest possible car even at the time.
Oh, I had one of those.
You had a Geo Metro?
Well, I mean, I drove.
My
mom did.
I like to think that he got the Geo Metro because that's what the prize for like the Nintendo was. So he's like, I want a Geo Metro, Mom.
See, dude, the only car that I was ever obsessed with growing up that I ever said that I ever wanted was a
Volkswagen Beetle.
No. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna make you all guess because you're a fucking idiot.
What was the car you wanted?
Yeah. What was the car that I was obsessed with? The only car that I've ever wanted in my life. Like if I suddenly if we became millionaires, right?
Buy it.
I would buy this. This would be
Even
my
still, or when you were a kid.
right now.
Here's my
right fucking now. I would do it.
My one question: Are we gonna make fun of you, or are we gonna think, yeah, that's pretty cool?
I mean, I have no reason to think that you would make fun of me.
Trans Am.
No.
Oh, that's mine.
Torino.
No. Hang on. Did you mean what is a Torino? What is a Torino?
I don't know.
In Japanese, that would be like an old Acura, not an Acura, a Toyota.
You mean like Gran Torino, like the Eastwood movie?
Eastwood movie. I don't know. It's just the car that my dad bought and ignored my family with.
I just remember everyone as a kid, at least in my school.
Was it the combination like sedan, but it had a pickup bed in the back?
I don't know. It was a long car. It was kind of ugly. Like at one point, there was like a hole in the bottom of the car where you could see like the pavement moving. There was like a whole bunch of switches in the bottom.
That seems very unsafe. What Fred Flintstone fucking car were you driving in?
And your dad loved that more than you?
El Camino.
Well, he used it as an escape.
Trodun, El Camino. That's what I was thinking of. But no, it's not an El Camino. Close, though. I did like El Caminos for a hot second.
I feel like any of the ones that I would like try and pick would just be like, no, come on, that's like an obvious one that he wouldn't.
Yeah, because I know for sure, like when I was a kid, all the people were like, I want a Mustang convertible.
Yeah.
That was like what everybody wanted as a kid.
So guess something.
The Dodge Viper?
No.
Love the Viper.
No. I've never stopped wanting it. Hummer was a good guess, but no.
Is it American made?
Yes.
It isn't. Okay.
Yeah, Hummer was my only other guess. I have no idea.
Huh?
The Aztec.
Because this has been your
The box on wheels, that ugly ass piece of shit car, the Ford Aztec.
My mom.
Robbie, I think you're the last one.
A Corvette?
No.
Robbie doesn't even know what cars are.
No one in the chat even. Oh, I'm sorry. Trodun got it. DeLorean.
The DeLorean?
I want to fuck
that piece of hot trash.
Hell yes.
The DeLorean.
Back to the Future.
Absolutely. Yes.
I get
Back
even
to the
in
future,
Back to the
100%.
Future, they had to swap the engine out to make it make noise.
I know.
Because it was such a piece of crap.
I know.
Oh
I'm
my
totally
And
aware.
to this day, you would still buy one.
Absolutely.
I understand as a kid, but today.
I would try to track down an original because there is a chance that the wheels might be filled with cocaine.
There is.
That was one of the things that did not go over very well.
They make a new DeLorean every year. Whichever company bought out DeLorean, they got all the spare parts.
You can buy a new DeLorean.
They make one a year.
That's what you'd use FU money on, huh?
That I would totally buy it.
Yeah.
I would buy a DeLorean.
The only reason that car is cool is because the doors like open up.
Kooky, I'm right with there. Kooky wants an RX-7 from Mazda. Hell yes. It burns oil, but I don't care. I fucking love that car. Anyway, that was interesting. Car talk. Who'd have thought on this show? That might be something we've never done.
It's pretty close to
I still like a convertible.
Card game
Shut
talk.
up. Read the next news story.
Which convertible? There's a ton of convertibles, Nika.
I don't know. I mean, I actually don't know much about cars.
Tanika,
So,
that's a
I just
car
want a
type. Convertible.
No, it is. Okay, you want to know my car types? It goes car, truck, limo, Hummer, convertible.
I like that limo's number 3. That's very funny to me.
Those are my car types. And van.
And
God damn.
Those are the ones she tells her students to stay away from.
Where does white pedo van fall on that list?
Van?
It's part of a. It's
That's a van. You just said the name.
And so it's like
idiot.
minivans,
You're getting too
But
complicated.
then there's like
for her. She's
SUVs that are
straining
like
her
in
brain.
between trucks and vans. Or I know SUV counts too as a.
You're
No,
thinking about it too much.
I want the car that those hamsters drive. What's that?
The Kia?
The
Yeah.
You should be driving a Kia from Summit Place Kia. Sorry.
Up until last weekend, he had never seen the hamster Kia commercials. Like he had seen,
lucky him.
Yeah. He had seen one where they're just driving around. When I showed him the original ones with like the robots and stuff.
Yeah.
like
That was so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Those commercials are the best. They had like party rock, and the hamsters were like shuffling, like.
Every day I'm shuffling.
Yeah, those
I
are the
actually
best
saw the
commercials. They
baby
used to
one
play them.
in story yesterday.
But they also used to play them on in movie theaters before movies. And
This is the
How do you
exact
miss it?
reason why Nate wants life to end.
Yes.
I just want to go back to sleep. That's all I want to do.
And not wake up.
The best part of waking up is going back to sleep. Depression.
All right. Well, speaking of depression, Destiny 2 is off to the races. By all accounts, doing well so far. Now the developer is starting to think about what they may be included in the first DLC pack. While it's known that we'll be going to Mercury in it, the developer has put out a call soliciting fans to tell them exactly what they'd most like to see in the first DLC.
Oh, boy.
And if you're going to do a DLC, yeah, do that. Ask people what they want. Not that people actually know what they want. I'm not sure they do.
No.
I'm pretty sure they don't. But you know what? At least pretend you care.
Especially this early on in the lifespan of that game. Like, there's so many people at so many varying stages of progression that, yeah, I think you're right. That I'm not sure that, you know anyone necessarily knows what they want.
You know what I think they'll end up with? I bet we'll get something, whatever the first DLC is, I think it will somehow be relating back to something in Destiny 1. Because
there's nothing to relate back to. Like, there was no fucking story in Destiny 1. There's, like, just fucking nothing.
Not even anything lore-wise?
I mean, like, if you wanted to read a fucking website, then I guess.
Nah,
but,
I'm not going to do that.
Like, dude, that was the thing, was that, like, most people's reaction to Destiny 2 is like, oh, they actually put a story in with this one. Oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah. Oh, it's the
novel.
Battlefront strategy.
Yeah, it's sort of like for FF14, if you try to make references back to 1.0, they just that well runs dry very quickly.
But it's
That's
doable.
all I'm saying. It is doable.
The horn.
It is doable. Yes, I'm not saying that it's not doable.
Wrong podcast, guys.
They could absolutely do it with Destiny, but I'm just saying that they probably won't.
Yeah.
I want to go to Uranus.
Wow.
Not laughing at that.
Next story, please.
The new Wolfenstein game is running an advertisement showing Nazi stormtroopers marching down an American street with the phrase, "Not my America" flashing. This has sparked controversy because... No, dear God, what world are we living in? Why has that sparked controversy?
That should be getting critical acclaim.
Yeah.
No. More than that, guys. All right? This is a franchise that's been around for years now, right? It's just
since like the late 80s.
Yeah, it's
Forever.
just always been a game about Nazis. And I think that the thing to me that really was bam, this is fucked up, was how Bethesda's like, we didn't set out to make a political game. We made a game that we've made before.
Yeah.
BJ has always just fought Nazis, and it just so happens that because of the current state nowadays, yeah, it's political.
Yeah,
we accidentally made a political commentary on the state of America.
And that's the problem, is that this is a political commentary. It shouldn't be. They should be able to make a game where you shoot at Nazis and just have it be like, oh yeah, I saw Indiana Jones. Nazis are bad.
There's a lot of games that whether or not the developers intend for it to be political, it really is. Like people have said, Overwatch is too political, and Overwatch is like, well, we don't want it to be, but it is one of their principal aims to make it diverse, both ethnically and just every way they can. They want to have a very diverse cast, right? That shouldn't be political, but it is, okay? And with Bethesda, I feel like they really are the first ones. It's like, no, this shouldn't have been political in any way, shape, or form. Nazis are evil. You kill evil things. If you go and play World of Warcraft and defeat the Legion, is that political? No, they're evil demons, right? Nazis are evil. Why is this political?
How is the
in any way, shape, or form? It shouldn't be.
How is this a fucking conversation anymore? How is this?
I don't know.
How is this like that? And that's really the thing that I think I'm just completely fucking done with. Is I'm done putting up with the conversation on Twitter. I'm done entertaining the idea that there are people out there who can argue the merit of fascism. No, I'm done. Okay, and that doesn't impede your First Amendment right. Okay, remember, the First Amendment is Congress shall make no law that abridges freedom of speech. Congress shall make no law. That says nothing about the media. That says nothing about private citizens. That says nothing about media companies run by private citizens. It says nothing about what you have to accept or don't accept in your fucking life or in your fucking vicinity. And I'm done. I'm done. The next time I hear it, I'm not engaging with it. I am just reacting. And you know what? I don't know what the fuck my reaction is going to be. It depends on what they fucking say. But I'm done. I'm done dealing with it. And you know what? We all should be. Because this bullshit that happens in places like Charlottesville that happened last fucking night needs to stop. There's only one way to deal with Nazis. There's only one way to deal with fascism. And you go to fucking war. That's it. Nobody wants to hear it. But that's the only way that we have ever dealt with fascism for the entirety of human history. We go to fucking war with it. And that's the fucking scary thing, is that if this shit continues, dude, people are going to get hurt.
And yeah, like you either go to war with it or you end up going to war for it.
Exactly.
Those are the choices.
Exactly. And I absolutely refuse to stand by and do nothing while fascism starts to take hold in our fucking country. And for those that will just stand by, I will tell you right now, they will fucking drive the steamrollers over you. That's how fascism works. If you think, hey, well, we should give fascism a shot and they should have their say, well, you know what? Guess what they're going to be advocating? They're going to be advocating for your eradication. Because there's either something about your gene pool that they don't like, or there's something about your color that they don't like. There's something about the way that you love somebody that they don't fucking like. And all of that is arbitrary distinction so that they can divide us as people and so that they can set us against one another. There is no way that this is allowed to continue and people don't get hurt. It will happen.
It is happening. All over the country it's
already happening. Americans fighting Americans. But you know what? That's where we're at. There are flag-wielding fascists marching down our fucking streets. You need to do something about this. This fucking apathy that pervades our generation needs to stop. This idea that we can entertain the notion of coexisting with fucking fascism does not work. And anti-violence does not work when you're dealing with someone who wields violence as a weapon. Someone who will not hesitate to use violence against you because they don't care about the way that people see them. They don't care about the if anything has been made abundantly fucking clear to me, it's that these people do not care about the way that they are seen. They don't care about being called the worst, lowest thing on the fucking planet, and that is a Nazi. They're quite proud of it. There is only one way that this ends. You can do something about it now by making it scary to say anything except I'm not a Nazi. That needs to be something that people are afraid of. Their racist bullshit cannot be continued to be spread like this. It's spreading like fucking wildfire, and it's infecting people. There's only 30% that would even fall into this category. We can beat 30%. I'm just parroting Dan Harmon at this point. We can beat 30% guys, but we can't do it if you're fucking silent.
Let me read a few of the replies that Bethesda got, because hell, since this is a big deal, they thought, well, fuck it, let's make this part of our PR then, right? Hashtag no more Nazis. So they put a tweet out on the Wolfenstein Twitter that was make America Nazi free again, hashtag no more Nazis, hashtag Wolf2, and then a picture of something from Wolfenstein. So if one guy replies with, oh, wow, what a clever marketing trick. Tapping into hysterical leftist power fantasies, so current, so subtly political. Wow, go fuck yourselves. So having a Nazi-free America, that is a leftist power fantasy. Okay.
Wow.
Oh. But that's the whole point. Like
that was the goal of World War II.
Well, once that Wolfenstein has never not been about Nazis. How do you make you can't make Wolfenstein and say well, yeah, but we're not going to use Nazis anymore.
Yeah.
Then you should probably make a different game.
Yep, someone else. Cool. Didn't know Bethesda teamed with SJWs and Antifa.
All right. Here's the thing. Here, I do have something to say on the term SJW at this point. I have been on the other side of this for a long time because it's the keyboard warriors out there and the people, oh my God, he said one bad word. He's a horrible person for eternity. And that's utter bullshit. And I don't believe in any of that. But you know what? If I have to choose between being seen as being on the side of Nazis or an SJW, I'm going to take SJW every fucking time because you know what? At the end of the day, even if they go way too far, they're trying to go way too far on the side of, hey, let's all be humans.
It gets worse.
You're not wrong.
It gets worse.
Listen, Zamfir, I've already gone around about this once with you on fucking Twitter, okay? Judaism is not just a religion, it's a culture. So you can be Jewish without being a practicing Jew. You can't equate, you cannot blur that line. It's nothing but a choice to be a Nazi. Nobody's born a Nazi. If you're born in Germany, it makes you a German, not a fucking Nazi. Nazism is an ideal.
Yep, the Nazi party. It was a whole political thing.
It's not a fucking culture.
Jesus. Are you fucking stupid?
I can't believe we had to explain that. Like, the fact that we had to explain that is blowing my mind.
Another reply. It's just that there's more Black Power Panther racists in America than Nazis.
Christ.
Is there? Really?
Okay.
Why must politics be put into everything? It's just getting tiring. That's why I play games, to get away from that garbage, and it has a picture of Pepe. Why did you force me to do this? I just wanted to play video games.
We need to listen. We need to talk about this. We need to talk about this because this is shit that is infesting the gaming community, and it needs to be routed out.
Yeah,
it needs to be called out for the fucking bedrock of humanity that it is. And you know what? Just fucking. You know what? I am so fucking tired. I'm so tired of every PUBG match I get put into where I'm in the plane and fucking niggers. Like, just stop that shit. Fucking stop.
But it's everywhere. And that's like when you're sick of hearing.
It's disgusting, is what it is.
You're sick of hearing politics everywhere you look. I'm sick of hearing this hot garbage everywhere I look.
And one of the reasons it's so important, not just to talk about it, but there like it's one thing to see people who are very obviously on one side or the other, right? But I think what scares me most is there's been a lot of people that have been popping up my Facebook who have been like saying or sort of kind of low key agreeing with things where I don't think they realize what side they actually fall on. They know that the whole thing makes them uncomfortable, but they're not really sure why. And when you ignore it and you don't talk about it and you don't force this situation, then they go on being ignorant of it, and that doesn't help anyone. By forcing these conversations, it makes people really look at themselves and look at what they're saying. I remember one time seeing a Facebook post that was something about the idea, it was something along the lines of, blah, 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 this is the way that I feel, but I don't want to say anything because I don't want anyone to think that I'm a Nazi. And it's like, that person is actually on the right path because at some point, they're actually going to go, oh shit. Oh, it's because I am, and that's the point where you can start to change, right? So the people who are making things like that, like when people start realizing the shit that I'm saying is fucked up, that's when you start to reflect and look inward, right? And that's one of the other things that we need to be forcing to happen. You need to choose a side. If you're not on a side, you're fucking dead weight.
Listen, it's the most overused quote in history, but right now it is an important one. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing.
Right.
And when you stand there and you say, I don't want politics in my games. I don't want politics. I don't want to hear politics everywhere. I don't really want to take a side in
fucking
this. That's all you're doing.
Fucking life is politics. Get the fuck over it. This goddamn nonsense of millennial culture just simply being, well, I'm just going to surround myself with the things that I like and that make me feel comfortable, and then just ignore all of the shit that makes me feel uncomfortable. That has to stop. That has to stop. The world has started burning.
Yeah.
Like, are we living in the same goddamn reality? We need to be living in the same fucking reality if we're going to have a conversation about this, if we're going to have a productive conversation about this. And that's my point, is that I don't know that there's any more productive conversations to be had.
Yeah, at this point, when people will stand there as you say something, hold up their Hitler salute, and just
march through the streets with torches?
Yeah, at this point, what is left to be said to that person?
Exactly.
What do you, what is the magical words I can say that will make them go, you know what? Maybe we aren't the supreme race, and maybe other people don't need to die.
You know what? And here's the thing, okay? Because I can already feel some people wanting to jump to this left-right dichotomy, this Democrat-Republican dichotomy, and that's not what we're talking about. I'm not talking about Republicans. I'm not talking about people that I disagree with. I'm talking about flag-wielding, chanting, "The Jews will not replace us" in the streets, fucking Nazis. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? Do not get the two things conflated. Just because Donald Trump won't distance himself from these people does not make you, if you're a card-carrying Republican, one of them. And that also means that you don't need to fucking defend them. Like, I love all these people who suddenly think that they're fucking free speech scholars overnight.
Well, here,
because I don't, because this is some shit that you agree with, or that it satisfies some weird part of your twisted insides. Like, go fuck yourself, you off-brand Shitler youth piece of garbage. Like, it's fucking like.
Here's another comment.
The fact that this is driven in any way by the president of the United States makes me fucking ill.
This guy says, I dislike how you phrased this. You guys might want to make a public statement that you don't hate Trump or freedom.
That wasn't funny until the "or freedom" part.
But since when does Trump stand for freedom? That's what.
Can you at least try to be less subtle with your bullshit propaganda? Not my America while showing Nazis? Yeah, that totally doesn't ring a bell. Bethesda became such a pathetic company.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
this is hurting me.
It is. It's painful. It's painful, but you need to listen to it. You need to listen to it. You need to sit with it, because these are people that will go out into the world and could possibly make other people think that, this is what gaming is all about. If nothing else, what was Gamergate?
Here's one of the worst ones.
But that exact fucking thing.
Yeah, well, I wasn't about to play a game about endlessly killing white people anyway. GTA San Andreas is more my speed.
Oh my God.
Are
like
you kidding
this
me?
guy looks at a game with people wearing swastikas and says, those are just white people. Those are normal people.
Yeah. And the thing is because Zamfir is making a whole bunch of false equivalents here in the chat.
I need a drink.
A lot. There is a lot of him.
You're allergic to the drinks, though.
There's a lot of false equivalents going on there. And the thing is that if you've ever stopped and listened to the rhetoric that comes out of that scene, that comes out of the white supremacy scene, the neo-Nazi scene, okay? Because I was involved with the punk rock scene. We were invaded by neo-Nazis for a long fucking time. Punks v Nazis, that's a pretty normal thing. Like, there was a lot of that in the late 90s and early 2000s, right? So I have a lot of context for what the actual rhetoric is like. when you get right down to it, because a lot of it is they don't really want it to get out. They want to put on a suit and tie, and they want to go, well, it's about keeping bloodlines pure, and they say all of the fucking politically correct shit when cameras are rolling, but then the real rhetoric is destroy, destroy, destroy. It's violence at every turn, violence as a first tactic, not a last tactic. We're at the point where it's last tactic time to fight against Nazis openly marching in our streets. Okay? This is first tactic shit for them. And you cannot, there's not a single thing that you can show me to make me think otherwise, because all that is just a nice fucking presentation. I don't give a shit if you think that, Nazism is cool, or, you're trying to be a fucking, just be contrary to be contrary. But this is not this is not a joke. This is not a game. They're marching in our streets. They have been embedded in our community for longer than I think any of us really comfortably can admit. Again, I cite Gamergate. What was Gamergate if not this exact fucking the extension of this shit? I'm so fucking disgusted by this as a human being that I legit had trouble sleeping last night. I legit there is no way that this ends positively. There's no way that this ends with coexistence. No, because it's impossible. When you're up against when the other side believes from the onset that coexistence is not a fucking option, that all resistance must be eliminated to the tune of death. What do you do against that?
It comes down to the paradox of tolerance, which states that if a society is to be tolerant, that can't be without limit, right? Because if you are tolerant of all things, eventually intolerance is going to seize society and destroy tolerance, right? So in order to be a truly tolerant society, the one thing you can't tolerate is intolerance.
Thank you for saying that. That's the reason I've disowned one of my aunts, actually, because I was having an argument about not being accepting to the way that she was not being accepting. And then one of my other aunts was like, but I thought teachers were supposed to be open.
You have to be accepting of our unacceptingness.
And so all my friends ripped them apart. And you're like, wait, you're being mad at her for not being tolerant of your intolerance.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous. And I don't talk to this person anymore. And they're in my family. It's horrible.
I think I remember seeing that on your Facebook. In fact.
Oh yeah. My aunt tried to rip me a new one about me apparently shoving views down my family's throats by just sharing articles during the election.
As she then came to shove her view down your throat.
Mm-hmm. And then all of my friends ripped her new one, and it was hilarious.
Listen, no one's calling someone that we disagree with a Nazi. We're calling, again, flag-waving, fucking, armband-wearing skinheads who are saying the Jews will not replace us. Those are Nazis.
Yes.
Stop getting this fucking confused.
This isn't like a gray area type thing. If you have a swastika on, if you're wearing a shirt with a quote from Hitler, if you want people to die or think they should be shipped off on a bus, then I'm sorry, you're a Nazi.
Dude, Zamfir, you have created your own situation. If people are private messaging you with mean shit, it's probably because you're being a fucking ignorant asshole right now. So, you know what? I got no problem with that. I don't know if you are a Nazi. I don't know if you've ever worn the fucking flag or not, but you know what? Fuck you.
But even if on the surface you're not racist and you're not going to sit there and call someone racial slurs, your mentality is what is toxic, and
the very passivity of it is the
just
apathy.
Saying that the Nazi view is just a different point of view, and we should all get that. No. I can't listen to that.
No. Here's the thing. Do people have the right to be a Nazi? Yes, they do. Should the government stop them? Should the police stop them? Should some kind of official anti-racism agency stop them? No, they absolutely shouldn't. That abridges the First Amendment. But we as private citizens get to judge. We as private citizens get to act. And I can promise you that this is going to reach a fever pitch where people are going to go to jail. people are going to get hurt. There is going to be fighting amongst families, amongst brothers and sisters. There is going to be discord like we've never known. I said earlier, there's only 30% that really buy into this line of bullshit, okay? It's probably even less than that. But here's the really scary part, and I want you to really think about this. If at one of his fucking rallies, Trump decides, I'm backed into a corner, I've been doing, fucking almost a year's worth of race baiting at this point, he just walks up and says, race war. Walks off. That's it. That's all he says. 30% of the people, hell, let's make it 20%. There are 20% in this population that would go, all right, he said it. It's time to go. Lock and load. That fucking keeps me up at night. That one person can just give an order like that. And you know what? The vast majority of this nation would not be behind that. But if you've got 20% of people shooting at the other fucking 80%, what happens? What's your plan then? It's really scary to think about. It's really fucking frightening. And what's to stop that from happening at this point? Anyone?
The other people. That's it.
Give me a call. Let me know. What do you think? What's to stop that from fucking happening? Final Encountercast on Skype, 810-207-1764.
We'd love to hear from you because, frankly, this fucking sucks.
It keeps me up at night.
It keeps you up at night.
It keeps me. Yes. I was up till 4 a.m. last night.
Wow. Well,
if there has been one thing that I have been dedicated to, it has been fighting fucking Nazis.
It's fair, dude, but I get you, man. There's a man who is a known supporter of gay conversion therapy, which is torture, by the way, one breath away from the presidency. You know how scary that is for me? You know how quickly any of the random jokes I've made on this show about being, into guys or what my gender is, you know how quickly that would get me in a lot of trouble if he were in power, possibly? Sure. Now, I'm not saying, he's going to go like, exterminate the gays today. No, but that's where it begins.
Right.
That's where that load of hot trash begins.
Look at all of the other shit that he's just, Listen,
I've
waived, fucking Nika, your birth control is no longer guaranteed. Just an arbitrary decision.
It's terrifying.
Just the other day, you can no longer. You are now allowed to use gender as someone who's trans. You can now use that as a. Yep, you can allowed to discriminate. That's legal. Yep. You guys, by the way, the 4 of you are within your rights to kick me off this show and out of this company for being trans.
Well, I know what we're gonna do later.
The thought had occurred to me.
I'm getting my 5%, yo.
That's terrifying to me. That scares the shit out of me. And it blows my mind. Like, listen, I've been a Democrat most of my life where I've had any political spectrum, but there's plenty of Republicans that I would have happily voted for. This is not about Trump being Republican.
No,
I don't care anymore.
Trump isn't even a Republican. What?
No, he's not. He's really not.
He's not.
You're absolutely correct.
That's unfair to Republicans to say that.
It really is. Like he's flip-flopped between his political alignment, like officially, at least 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
let's be real.
At the end of the day, the man is either a monster or incompetent, and that line is getting real thin.
You have members of his own fucking cabinet going, this guy, this guy is a fucking moron.
And what's more frightening to me is I'm 90% certain the guy behind him is worse, because the guy behind him is both competent and evil.
Listen, this is a really serious problem, and it has to be addressed, and it's got to be addressed openly. Got to have conversations about it, because I'm done. I'm done accepting it in my presence. If I can do something about it, I'm going to. I'm not encouraging anyone else. But this passivity, this I'm just going to stand on the sidelines bullshit. It's not working for me. No. It's not working for me. I'm never going to engage with this bullshit again. If it's in my presence, fuck that shit.
Yeah, no, this has got to end, and it's just at this point, like, like, what's the step from here? Where do we go from here? Like, the fact that you can't make a Wolfenstein game without people getting butthurt anymore,
right,
is so beyond my rationale. Like, there was a time when, like, I used to make fun of games that use Nazis as their bad guy because I was like, that is the laziest approach.
Yeah, Nazis and zombies.
It's so safe.
Nazi zombies.
It's so safe.
10 years ago, this was barely a political statement.
Yeah, exactly. It not at all, really.
Yeah.
It was like, oh,
it wasn't at all.
Yeah, I mean, like
Nazis are bad, just like vampires, just like zombies, like the mafia. Like it was just a bad guy. It's a bad guy.
Exactly. It was like saying the USSR in the 70s. Like, it was always a safe go-to as your bad guy. And now we're at a point today where it's like, oh man,
where
coming out
people
against
feel
the
attacked
Nazis.
by
Damn, man.
We're at
It's
a
like-
point where 5-year-olds in my class, when Trump was elected, were actually asking me if he was going to kill their home countries and if they were going to get kicked out of the country. 5-year-olds.
Well,
Holy shit. It's scary.
I mean, hopefully they're not one of the dreamers, because that's definitely
because it's a possibility.
Yeah, they might get kicked out of the country.
They could.
It's the sad
And it's
truth.
terrifying.
Oh my God.
Let's go to our phone lines, because Zamfir's had quite a mouth, so he decided to call in. What's going on?
Yo.
Hey.
Yeah, the only problem I have is yes, being a Nazi or acting on your Nazi tendencies is wrong. It's horrible. That's fucked up. But just having the thought isn't wrong.
Right, we said that.
We
but
agree.
The thing is, you can be free to have thoughts, but you're not free of consequence. Like,
Yeah, if you
can't-
internalize that shit and that's just like what you believe and you go about your day-to-day life, more power to you. Hell, I don't care what you say in the privacy of your own home. If you are at home and that's the shit you want to believe and you want to spout off, do it to your heart's content. You own that land.
But when you're-
but when you get out on the street and you start marching in Charlottesville waving tiki torches, you're a fucking piece of shit and I don't care what happens to you anymore.
Even as peaceful as you might want to claim that may be, you are still not free of people recognizing you, people harassing you for having hateful views. Like, whatever your view is, being a Nazi is extremely hateful and it's wrong.
Yeah, there's
You deserve to be scoffed at.
Yeah,
for
there's
it.
consequences for that shit. Can the government stop you from saying it? No. But can I?
But you're no better than a Nazi for just attacking someone based on the belief if they hold a peaceful, well, a supposedly peaceful event. But she had it planned and organized, and Antifa showed up and caused violence. So that's what happened at Charlottesville.
Oh, and
They all got out of hand.
they showed up and caused violence. If I remember correctly, they had their counter protest in a church, right? And then the Nazis marched from where they were to the church.
Let me ask you something. Was it Antifa was it Antifa that rammed that fucking car into the group of protesters? Was that Antifa?
That was wrong. The guy was panicking. That guy's a complete dipshit. But that's both ends are wrong. Two cause violence. The two cause trouble like they always do.
He wasn't a dipshit. He murdered people. There is such a difference.
It was purposeful.
Yeah.
There's no argument.
And this is why it needs to be fought, because you're like, look, it's just one guy this time. But when we let this stuff go and it starts
uprising happening in America. Just so you know, Charlottesville wasn't about being a Nazi. It was about being alt-right.
Then why are they carrying Nazi fucking flags,
Yeah, there was
dipshit?
plenty of them carrying Nazi flags. They were reciting Nazi chants. They were hailing Hitler.
What?
Like,
Yeah.
please tell me
Why
why
are they screaming the Jews will not replace us, you fucking knob?
They're neo-Nazis. Let's be real. They're neo-Nazis. Neo-Nazis are Nazis, but just nowadays.
Yeah, the basically same thing. It doesn't fucking matter.
Oh my God.
They have
But
swastikas,
all
and they're not the same.
Nazis. This the thing I need to make clear. It's not okay for you to just go beat the shit out of them just because they hold a peaceful event.
Oh, hashtag not all Nazis, guys.
Nobody's beating the shit out of them.
Hashtag not all Nazis. That's the thing. You buy into this whole fucking Antifa thing, which, I mean, if you look at the actual incidents of fucking violence, there's very little that end up coming from anarchists or the black bloc. They mostly take that out on property. Now, I have a fucking question. Where were you? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Where the fuck were you when it was occupying Occupy Wall Street, and those assholes were getting their ass beaten by cops. Where were you about the First Amendment when that was, or were you just sitting around jacking off at the fact that dudes with dreads were getting the fucking shit beat out of them? Huh?
They sat in the streets, they blocked streets, they fucked everything up.
They blocked streets and fucked everything up. So wait a minute. You're saying that causing fucking traffic violations is worse than murder? Am I hearing you right? Because you just defended a murderer and then was like, oh yeah, well, all of those fucking faggots deserve to be beat up because they were blocking traffic.
That's not at all what I said.
Bro, that is. I'm sorry. Am I crazy? Am I alone, or did I just hear that shit? Did I just hear that shit? Shut the fuck up! I'm not talking to you, asshole. I'm not fucking talking to you. I'm asking the room. You know what? No one can fucking hear you. You just roll right on ahead like your fucking dumb piece of shit fucking leader does, and don't listen to anything that we're gonna say. Am I alone, or did I hear that fucking shit? He just
you asked him where he was during the Wall Street, and he said, "Well, they were blocking streets." So
Nazis.
That's exactly what he said.
Thank you for the donation, Marcus. Shut the fuck up. God damn it. Nobody wants to hear your Nobody wants to hear your weaseling and bootlicking about how much you fucking love Donald Trump or fucking the fucking fascism or racism. No one gives a fuck, Zamfir. No one gives a fuck. Okay? Listen, where were you in defending the First Amendment rights of Occupy Wall Street? Do you defend people that you don't agree? Zamfir, I'm asking you a direct question. Do you defend people that you don't agree with, yes or no?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right. So where was all this fucking outrage during Occupy Wall Street? Or
that's what you think, no matter where you are. You're in public saying your beliefs, you should not be attacked. That's fucked up.
I didn't catch a word of that. I didn't catch a fucking word of that. You want to try digging your hole even deeper? You want to try that one more time?
Here's what Charlottesville was. What's the say, quick?
I'm not talking about Charlottesville, you cock shit. I'm talking about Occupy Wall Street. I'm talking about, do you defend people that you don't agree with?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so then why were you sitting here jacking off about the fact that, oh, they were blocking streets, man?
Were you defending them during that time?
Property damage and blocking streets causing problems. So
hang on. There's an even bigger problem with Occupy Wall Street, because that wasn't average citizens coming in and stopping the protesters. That was the cops. That was the government that was shutting that shit down. So, okay. So that's not problematic. No, that's not. Of course, that's not problematic because they're just stinky hippies in tents, right?
They should have shut it down how they did. How they handled the Wall Street thing was pretty fucked up. Just like how they handled Charlottesville was pretty fucked up.
Okay, so a very direct question.
So then
were you defending the Occupy Wall Street people while it was happening? Yes or no?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Really?
Okay. All right. But somehow murdering people or murdering a woman with your fucking car and running them over is somehow something that you can justify and find. Oh, that's
fine. I don't say I justify. It's always been wrong.
All I heard was I'm okay with a lady getting run over by a car. That's all I heard.
I never said that.
Yeah. It's interesting because all your bullshit between this call and what you've been saying in the chat, that's all I fucking hear is, oh, that's okay. That's okay.
I never said it was okay in chat either.
Oh, okay.
You kind of did, though.
You kind of did.
I never did.
Okay, sure. Right. So does that qualify for a peaceful protest if you run over counter protesters?
It didn't start off with a call.
If that
do you understand this?
If that does, if that
seriously, fuck Nazi and the Nazi sympathizers. We don't need the kind of negativity in our lives.
Didn't do a damn thing. Okay, shut it down from the start. Because no letting Antifa in there to fight. We're back to in there to fight with the Nazis, or the alt-right, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. That person would not die. That's just what would have happened. The person would have never died. It would have been a peaceful protest. It would have been open. But the cops told to stand down and let people fucking kill each other. The cops fucked up on this. They have the right to do their protest there.
Are you blaming the person who died for counter-protesting?
That kind of say,
Wait, you're saying that person died because they were also peacefully standing up for what they believed in, and that
they
was
weren't peacefully standing. Once Antifa got there, started macing people, hitting people, bringing weapons.
And that woman was doing that. That woman that died was doing that. Please give me proof of that. Not that she would deserve to die either way.
I'll bring you proof when I get off this call and get back on the theater.
You know what, dude? If you try to give us proof, it better not be a fucking InfoWars link. Better not be some Alex Jones, the fucking frogs are gay bullshit. Because, dude, you clearly subscribe to that. Well, like, oh well, there's more opinions that it could be like, and that's the thing. This is what I'm fucking done with. I'm done with the passive bystander act where you're like, oh well, maybe they had a point. Maybe they had maybe they had a reason for being out there.
I'm saying they had points. They had 0 points. Being Nazis fucking stupid. So being alt-right. But going up to cause violence is going to make them cause violence back, and now someone's dead. Both sides wanted to fight.
That's how
both sides wanted to fight.
That's how war works, dipshit. People die. People die. Yes, people die.
Antifa is causing a war. Because
Antifa's causing a war.
Yeah, see,
Antifa is causing a war.
Notice, guys, that if someone on the Nazi side does something wrong, oh no, well, he wasn't one of them. He was just one guy. But if someone does it on the other side, that's all of them.
Yeah,
that's everybody.
How is it that Antifa's causing the war but not the Nazis? I don't get that.
Yeah, how is it?
Violence got started because the cops didn't stop it.
Wait, no. If the one guy driving the car wasn't part of the Nazi alt-right, then how is it that the few people that quote-unquote started the violence, why are they Antifa? How do you know that they're not part of Antifa? Maybe Antifa doesn't believe in that and those people were just acting out.
Yeah, you don't know.
Do you see how this logic is fucked up?
Yeah.
You
can sit here and poke holes in shit. You can sit here and poke holes in shit all fucking day. You know what? You can sit here and try to talk over me, but I have a much louder microphone than you do.
And volume control.
Yeah, and I can control your fucking volume. So you might as well just wait until I'm fucking done talking. Okay, so listen, because this is total insanity. The amount of backbending that you're having to do to make this fit into your logic scheme of like, well, it's clearly all Antifa's fault.
I'm not saying it's all Antifa's fault.
You just said that, you dumb fuck.
That's what happened at Charleston. That's because of the cops. They fucked up and someone died because of it.
Oh, now it's the cops' fault.
Oh, it's the cops' fault. Okay.
But can't we use that same logic to say, well,
it's not the Nazi that ran over people. It's the cops' fault.
I mean, how are you not using your same logic to say, well, if the Nazis had never had... I'm still talking. Excuse me. I'm still talking.
Shut the fuck up, you dumb motherfucker.
Jesus Christ. Like... That's by your same logic. Why are you not also saying if the Nazis had not held their protest, this woman would not have died? That is the exact same logic you've been using about the counter-protest.
In the long term, had it to be peaceful, and then Antifa showed up out of nowhere, no permit, just to cause trouble. That's
just to cause trouble.
That's why their original plan was not long. Their original plan was not to go out and kill people. The plan was to sit there with stupid-ass tiki torches and sit there like jackasses.
They weren't sitting. They were marching. They were actively marching to the counter-protest.
And also, I'm pretty sure no Nazis died.
I knew a kid that actually went to the counter-protest. They were in a church. They were singing songs and hymns and stuff like that. And he left just before the mob with tiki torches and Nazi chants showed up.
Listen, okay. Here's this is insane. This is insane because this is degraded into arguing about the actions of a fucking murderer. Okay, this is I was was saying that this was bullshit and that we should stop accepting it on the virtue of the fact that it was simply Nazi banners and fucking anti-Semitic rhetoric in the streets. But you're actually going so far as to twist the context of a murder to be able to make some kind of fucking point that violence against Nazis still violence. Yeah, again, again, the only way that historically we've ever dealt with fascism is to destroy it, atom by atom. And that's what has to happen. That's what has to happen when you have the rise of fascism in your country. The other people, the good people in your country, rise up and they fucking squash it like a bug.
So you just tell the other people's opinions who have the wrong opinion. You want to show the opinions off? No, don't do that. Can't do that. No, that's wrong. Now you can't have your own opinions be public.
You can, but you absolutely deserve to be fired from your job and scrutinized in every other possible public forum.
You got fired for a job for that. That's fine. I don't give a shit. No. You're a fucking public Nazi. I wouldn't fire a public Nazi. What the fuck? That's fine.
So what are you arguing here then?
Yeah, what are you fucking? What are you arguing about?
You guys are wanting to blame violence to not people you think
to the people who are openly espousing it. Yeah.
The people who are literally chanting in the streets, death to Jews, death to everyone who is not us. Please tell me how they are not the ones inciting violence.
They had permits, they had it all signed and set out.
Oh, they have permits. They had paperwork. That makes it okay.
I'm not talking about that specific protest.
What are you fucking...
That is one specific protest on the grand scheme of things.
Nazis came up, causing trouble. Would that be wrong? Whose fault would that be? And the cops didn't stop it like they should have.
Dude, what are you...
would that be the Jews' problem? Or so if the Jewish people had some event, comments, everything had there, and then alt-right shows up to attack them, and are the Jews wrong there, or what? Because by your logic, saying the Jewish people there are wrong.
Dude, shut up. Oh my God. You have just been taught.
You can't debate that. You have to say what your logic is, and your logic horrible. You just want against Nazis.
Our logic is actually very simple. This is our logic, very simple. I'm going to put it as simply as I possibly can, okay? If you have hate in your heart and you spew it in public, you should be squashed out.
There's consequences. There's fucking consequences for your fucking actions. Period.
Violence just for a different opinion.
Death. All right.
Wanting people to die is not a fucking opinion.
Death to all Jews. Death to all Jews. What is that
that's
to
an
you?
opinion.
That's what you want to happen.
Death to all Jews. What does that?
That's an opinion.
That's an opinion.
That's not an opinion.
I guess we're done here.
Saying that you think Jews are ugly would be an opinion. That's an opinion. Wanting them to die is not an opinion.
There's no middle ground. There's no middle ground with extermination, you piece of shit.
I'm done.
Are they really going out there killing people? Really going out massively killing the Jewish people again? No, they are not. One person died at a huge battle because people want a war. You want a war. You want to get people killed.
No, I'm not. Hey, dipshit. I did not say I wanted a war. What I said was there's going to be a fucking war. There's going to be a war. That's what happens. That's what happens when fucking fascism takes hold. There is a war. That's not advocating for war. That's fucking history. Every time fascism has risen up, every fucking time, there has been a war to fight and defeat it. And now it's not some fucking foreigner that is infected with fascism. It's not Spaniards. It's not the fucking Germans. It's us. We have to take responsibility for weeding the shit out. It is on our doorstep. It is our responsibility as Americans to weed this out of our own fucking country. No one wants a war. No one wants a war, Zamfir. But as long as there are fucking cowards like you that are going to sit there and make excuses for Nazis, then you know what? It's inevitable. No one wants it. No one wants it.
We're not going to solve anything here. You're saying about them change, why not going to change? Basically, running with stuff up. That's about it for this call.
You're the lowest pile of shit that's ever called into this show.
I give you kudos for having the balls, though.
People with different opinions to call in, so I called in.
No, good. Thank you.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're a racist anti-Semite that has called in. I'm appreciative. I'm at least as appreciative of it as fucking as I'm sure goddamn Jerry Springer was when the KKK would come onto his show.
Well, but you just said I was a racist anti-Semite. What the fuck?
You're defending it. You're defending it. You're making excuses for it. You've got 4 people. You've got 4 people. You've got 4 people in this fucking room that cannot make heads or tails of what you're trying to fucking espouse.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter, guys.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and follow Zamfir. It's at Mr. Zamfir, MRZAMPHIRE on Twitter. Can continue the conversation with him there.
What a bug.
Get off my fucking program, you piece of pile of goddamn garbage. This is exactly my point. That needs to be scary. That needs to have as much resistance as it had in this room.
I'm gonna simplify this for as much as I possibly can for anyone who ever hears this, okay? When you hear the quote, "Death to all Jews is just an opinion," if that doesn't immediately make you angry, you're on the wrong side. You're part of the problem.
Choose a side. We're gonna end today with one of my all-time favorite rants. Okay, actually, you know what? First, we're gonna go back to our phone lines before we do that. I know that we're a little bit over time here.
We need a palate cleanser.
But I'm hoping that this caller may bring a little bit of cheer. Elikin, welcome to Final Encountercast. Thanks for calling in.
Hi guys, I really appreciate you guys taking my call for just a quick minute. I wrote a couple notes when the jerk was on the line.
Sure.
I want to make a couple points. My number one point is the alt-right is not a conservative movement. It's a propaganda machine that lies under the conservative view. So they then take this view and they morph it to whatever their need is, which is typically hate speech.
Yes. That is a perfect assessment of exactly what has happened here. I do feel like conservatism is being co-opted. I feel very bad for genuine conservatives out there because they're having their lives and their political beliefs conflated with some really awful shit. And that's why I went out of my way to say several times, this is about flag waving, chanting in the streets, Nazis. So this is not liberal conservative. This is not Democrat Republican. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Nazis.
Yep, and I just wanted to make that clarification one more time because he mentioned the alt-right several times.
Yes, thank you.
And you don't get to use historical imagery such as carrying torches in southern states, invoking some of the most racist imagery in our country's history, and then call it, we're just voicing our opinion.
Peaceful protest.
Using historical images like white men carrying torches. Put on your fucking mask. And if you're going to be unmasked, reap the consequences.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. That's why they wear masks, bro. And then you just don't you are allowed to think and say whatever you want, and I will die for that right. If you want to say you hate Jews, that's okay. But here's the problem. You don't get to march through the streets and call for the extermination of anybody, because that will get young, weak, impressionable, angry males to flock to you, because young, impressionable, angry males, all they want is to fight. That's just how we are.
Yep.
And you don't get to play off that emotion for the wrong reasons. And it happens throughout history time and time again. And you are right, I will agree with all of you, that it is our job to stand up and show these people what the consequences of your actions are. You're allowed to go say nigger, but you know what? If a black dude punches you in the face in the street for calling him one, you shouldn't have fucking called him one.
Yep.
Because he's a person too.
That's
period.
That's just
how it is.
Yeah, that's the fucking consequence. You reap what you sow. And if you go around saying, well, like, death to all Jews is just an opinion, well, you know what?
When you get punched in the face, suddenly
Like, how can
you're
you say
right.
it's just an opinion?
when my friend
to throw racial slurs, it's peaceful to just use words and throw racial slurs. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
keep telling yourself that.
When my friend Isaac cocks back and jaws you and knocks you the fuck out, I'm not going to feel bad for you. I'm not. I'm not going to defend you either. And that's what it's really come down to, is that, you know what, again, you put it so succinctly, and I so agree with this, that you have the right to say whatever you want. That right should be inalienable, and that should always exist. But you know what? Everyone gets to judge that. Anyone who hears it gets to judge it. And if you put it out on social media, anyone can fucking hear it. It's like people expect to be defended when they say something shitty like that. Anything shitty that I've ever said on this show or any of our other shows, I've always taken responsibility for.
Yep, even on my last call. And one quick, my last point, really quick, is I just want to remind everybody, and I hope we're all on the same page. The Confederated States of America, i.e., Dixie will rise again and all that shit, Confederate States of America is an enemy nation.
Yes.
It is an enemy nation. It is seceded from our union. And our country fought very hard. But we lost men by the thousands to this war, where brothers fought brothers, like you were saying. And that is not a thing I ever want to see again.
No.
And it is not, you just can't do it. You don't want this. I am a twice deployed combat veteran. I've been to Iraq and all that. It's not a fun time, especially when the man that you're fighting speaks the same language as you, went to the same elementary school as you, went to all these things. They have the same life as you. You're the same person. You know, you're practically the same freaking person.
Yeah.
You just have, little nuances of interest. So never forget that the Confederate States of America is a traitor nation. It seceded from ours for the reason of using humans as chattel. And that's not okay.
Yeah.
You just can't own a fucking person.
Thank you.
All my points. I know we're kind of on the same page. That Zampier guy, I don't even know. Credit to you guys for allowing him at least some time. To speak,
at least he had
hear all opinions.
Yeah, at least he had the balls to do it. Most people don't have the balls to even do that. So,
but you know what? With that guy would never come up to. I'm not saying I'm the Billy baddest guy on the planet, although I am. But he's not going to come up to me and go, it's just an opinion that I hate all Jews. It's just my opinion. You're not going to say that because I'll fucking throttle you.
Yeah, you're going to get fucking flattened. You should.
I would like to clarify, the opinion was death to all Jews.
That's right. Anyway.
Sure.
Yeah.
Have a great day, guys. I really appreciate you guys letting me see my thing, too. So.
All right, we appreciate the call, and the sentiment was great. Elikin, thank you so much for giving us a call here on Final Encountercast. All right, we're going to wrap up today with one of my favorite rants of all times. Thank you guys for listening today. I know it got way more political than it should, but you know what? Hashtag no more Nazis. We stand proud. No more fucking Nazis. I am going to be enthusiastically buying Wolfenstein to show my support of killing Nazis. So So thank you guys for joining in the debate and the discussion. And this is something that is important to speak up about. This whole waiting on the sidelines, waiting in the wings, waiting for somebody else to do something about it has to stop. This starts with us. It starts with each individual person, and if you stay silent, you stay complicit. So I want to thank my crew, of course, Kooky Persona, who has been so dutifully manning the phone lines. Callie, even though he took off and he could not stomach that conversation. I don't blame him. But I appreciate Fat 2, Robbie, and Nika hanging out and having some good old spirited debate with us here on the show. So, all right, to wrap up today, we are going to leave the show in the words of Dan Harmon from his podcast, Harmontown.
I mean, obviously, it's like, hello, how are you? And the usual niceties. I also should add, I'm not a Nazi. Like, that's a new thing that you just add to be polite. That's the new minimum definition of interhuman communication. You want to start, I'm not a Nazi. You have to know that.
It would go a little something.
And then you say, oh, Dan, you're pandering, you're virtue signaling, right? Isn't that what you call it? You fucks?
Yeah.
You say you're not a Nazi, and then you get a big bell and a cookie, because that's so easy to say you're not a Nazi. Well, no, it's not that easy to say, is it? It's not easy to say you're not a Nazi. The president has a difficult time. And he has no repercussions to fear, really, except for some Nazis not voting for him. And he has traded that today. He has officially decreed, to the extent that a compulsively dishonest parasite can decree anything, he has decreed that he is a Nazi, because there are people goose-stepping down a main street in the heart of America, wherever the fuck that place is, and it would have been so easy to trade a couple of Nazi votes for what he might have hoped would be a couple of non-Nazi votes. Perhaps the easiest votes to get of all. Simple non-Nazi votes. Low-hanging democratic fruit, it's been called. I promise to not be a Nazi. You're hired these days. He couldn't do it. He couldn't bring himself to do it. And that is as close as you're going to get with a coward to it saying, I'm a Nazi,
Dan,
which is what he said.
He just wants to be loved.
Yeah.
By Nazis.
And just wanting to be loved is important and human. We all just want to be loved. And the big question is, when you are not loved and a Nazi is across the street going, yoo-hoo, do you go back to being not loved or walk across the street? That is what this civil war, and I promise you that's what's brewing, is going to be all about. And it's fucking over. The discourse is over. We have sat, we have talked, we have argued, we have pondered. The discourse is over. These people that tweet you when you retweet somebody, when you just say a simple fact that should not cause you to get a knot in your stomach,
Thanks for letting me call in.
Nazi.
And for long call.
The people that tweet
Even
you and say,
nor am I,
but
just
out of curiosity. Just tell them to go fuck themselves. The discourse is over. The war has begun. You're not talking to Nazis anymore. You're not talking to people that want to entertain the notion of being a Nazi anymore. You don't want to talk to people that want to circumscribe the concept of Nazism within a fucking Socratic dialectic about goddamn whether Nazi. They're fucking Nazis. It's the bedrock of humanity. It is so low that the worst people in the world find it, and that's where they rally. And it's so low, we have gotten so bad that a third of our country has gotten there. 29% of the people are fucking Nazis. Let's face it, that's a minority. We can beat them. We have to say, I'm not a Nazi, though. 2/3 of the country just don't want to be political. It's not politics to say you're not a Nazi. It's like taking a shit. You just do it! Or you explode! You die if you don't shit, and you die if you don't say you're not a Nazi! Fascism is a fucking cancer. It will eat your country unless your country kills it. Here's what happens when you get cancer. Nothing good. Nothing. There is no way out of it. I'm your country's doctor. You've got cancer. You have fascism. You are going to suffer. You are going to fight. You are going to feel pain. You are not getting out of this. We have fascism. It is happening. We're fucking dead, maybe. Or maybe they're dead. That's about it. It's not a continuum. There's no gray area. It's not a fad. Fascism doesn't pop up and then recede when it finds out no one's into it. It doesn't respond to love. It doesn't respond to hate. It doesn't respond to ignoring it. It doesn't respond to timeouts. It doesn't respond to attention. It doesn't respond to lack of attention. You stab it. You cut it out. You bombard it with poison. Or you die. And in any case, you will probably die. Don't die talking to cancer. Don't die hanging out with it. Don't die arguing with it on Twitter. It's fucking fascism. Enough. Team up. Stop bitching about Bernie Sanders. I don't care what flavor you want your democracy to be. It's democracy versus motherfucking fascism. You can be as Bernie as you want. You gotta do it later, man. You gotta do it fucking later. You gotta do it later.
Don't die talking to cancer. Final Encountercast is a production of FinalEncountercast.com, Limit Break Radio, and Bender Media Productions. Today's episode was produced by Nate Bender, Robbie Landis, Callie Sloan, and Kooky Persona. This show is made possible by the generous Patreon donors of the podcast Limit Break Radio. Opening music provided by Keyboard Kid. More info and music can be found at keyboardkid206.bandcamp.com. Closing music provided by Sobsy. For more info, visit sobsy.bandcamp.com. Final Encountercast and its hosts are solely responsible for its content.